But this is one that is of particular importance to me because not only is it in my ward, but it's in my neighborhood. I only live a few blocks from this. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we got this one right. This property, there's so many reasons to be in favor of this. Over the years, a number of people have come to me, and just for the edification of the public, it involves two parcels. One is the Longview Fiber property, or as longtime Waltham people call it, the paper bag. And that was an industrial use for many years, and it's basically a brown field. It's been a vacant lot for years and years. No economical use being made of it, just kind of a site that looks bad, serves no purpose, is not productive. Next to that, you have Boston Bark Mulch. They're running a legitimate business that's properly licensed, but it's just the nature of the business, okay? It involves trucks, they have bark mulch, they have yard waste. Sometimes that does not smell so nicely. If anybody's ever sat there at the game at the Babe Ruth field in the wind shifts, you can smell it. And if it shifts in the other direction, my constituents at 48 Pine Street can smell it. They have trucks coming in and out of there, and in fact, they have an agreement with both the city of Waltham and the utilities with Keyspan and NSTAR, that if they have to do emergency excavations, that they can drop the excavate there and pick up the kind of fill that they need to fill in the. And sometimes, if there's an emergency in the middle of the night, they could be out there at 3 o'clock in the morning and not infrequently are running the machinery, running the front end loader, dumping stuff into dump trucks, making noise. And there are a lot of complaints from the people at 48 Pine Street. And I know, Mr. President, you've received numerous complaints from people down at the mill. Hundreds of elderly and disabled residents living in very close proximity to that property have for many years suffered because of the nature of the activities at that location. Now we have somebody that's willing to go in there and take a site that, as I said, you go one site that's contaminated, one site that has a activity and use on it that is detrimental to the surrounding residential neighborhood. And believe me, when I attended a meeting that the petitioner put on, he invited everybody down from 48 Pine Street down to Marcelino's. And it was overwhelming when they realized that this would mean that they wouldn't have to listen to the trucks or smell the yard waste and the bark mulch anymore. They were overwhelmingly in support of this, everybody down to 48 Pine Street. And I know that the people down at the mill, that they had a similar thing down there. I wasn't there, but that there's a lot of support down there because this is going to improve the area. It's going to be a huge improvement. It's almost a no-brainer. What do you want? A Superfund site in a bark mulch yard waste operation with trucks going in and out right next to a baseball field? Or would you rather have a residential development where they continue the Riverwalk? Okay? It's great that we build all these luxury condos, but what about the cost of, what about affordable housing? Well, first of all, right off the top, this is going to result in 26 affordable units. How many school children were in the Waltham Public Schools from various developments? On those developments, on the Hope Avenue, a total of 3. There's I think 100 and I can't remember how many units are in there, but 3 children. And then on Cronin's Landing, there were none, and at the Watch Factory, 5. So out of those 3 developments, you had a total of 8. And that's 3 of the 3 biggest apartment buildings in the city of Waltham, and one of them didn't even have any. So I think that confirms that the impact on our public school systems will be negligible. As far as traffic, there was a traffic report submitted with the development prospectus as is required by the city council rules and ordinances, and that had to go before the traffic commission. The traffic commission, stated that that was done to industry standards and forwarded that on to the city council with no concerns. Some recommendations for mitigation. All of the recommendations for mitigation are contained as conditions in the proposed order. So we have this proposal before us. As the chairman of the Ordinance and Rules and as the ward councilor, I support this. The Ordinance and Rules Committee supports this, and I hope that the city council will support this.